everything I say is alleged, my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. So let's get into the second part of this interview that Carlos King did with Nene Leakes. So they start off talking about Nene suing Bravo, NBC, and Andy Cohen. She says she cannot say much because they are still in the lawsuit. Nene feels that they don't have the respect for her like she had for them. She says she wants to be treated fairly. Nene mentions again that she fought for the girls, but the girls did not fight for her. And she was very hurt by that. Nene said from day one that she has been open to conversations to figure out how to move forward and come to a better place. She said she can't say the same for the other side. Nene said when she started with Bravo, they were not as big as they are now. And she used to be able to talk to the higher ups. She had personal relationships with them. Versus now, you got to talk to someone else to get to them. Nene said she knew a long time ago that she was not being treated fairly and that her episodes were slowly diminishing and she felt that she was being faded out and she couldn't understand it. Nene says she asked them to explain the reason why she got so little episodes and they told her that she was unhappy. Nene was like, so you know I'm unhappy? So the other housewives of the other complexions are getting episodes as OGs. So why are her episodes being cut? I guess she felt that although she wanted explanation, they wasn't giving her a good enough reason, okay? You're black, but anyway. Nene felt she was not doing anything different from the other housewives. So why was she being treated unfairly? So they end up talking about Kim Zolciak, said that Kim didn't participate in some of the trips, working trips, okay, but still got her full check. Carlos asked about Andy Cohen. Nene says she hates that they are in this place because life is too short. She wishes they can find their way back to each other and resolve the issues, she said. It says a lot about a person that can't move on, but holds on to grudges. Okay, Nene, I don't know you that well, but when you was mad, okay? You would say things. Well, you know what? Let me take that back. You know why? Because they were saying things about you, but because you struck harder, it was a problem. So, okay, I'm going to give you that one. Okay. She brought up how she was on Watch What Happens Live the most as a housewife, and she feels like they used her to build it up and just put her by the wayside once they didn't need her anymore. Child, welcome to America. Welcome to corporate America. Welcome to, hello, friendships. But anyway, she says she's a Sagittarius and she does not hold on to stuff. Okay, Nene. Okay, but when you was mad, like I said, you was mad. And you said some things you probably can't take back. Okay. Carlos asked if she would come back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She said not for her, but for the fans. She would come back. Nene said she does not watch the show, but do watch the clips that come down her timeline. And she said the cast is not entertaining. And she does not see a star in any of them. Okay. She said at this point, Marlo is the most entertaining. And that's bad because she was a friend of the show for years. I feel she said that to say if Marlo is bringing all the entertainment to the people, then what are the ladies who's been on this show for years getting big checks bringing to the table? Carlos asks, do you think Kandi is overrated and overpaid?
Or less.
Immediately says yes. She feels like Kandi holds the biggest grudge against her. She said the camera does not love Kandi and she's not exciting. But she believes the network wants it that way. Believes the girls have the I but not the T. Nene feels like Real Housewives of Atlanta being third in status is what the network wants. They don't want them to be number one. Y'all can read between the lines on that one, okay? Nene asked Carlos what do he thinks Real Housewives of Atlanta needs. Carlos said that they need an anchor, and they don't have that. And that is why they are falling in ratings. Nene says she knew what the show needed because she started from day one. Says she is not happy to see Real Housewives of Atlanta crash and burn. So in a sense, Nene was the quiet producer of the show. And Carlos gave her accolades, saying that, you know, a lot of the girls looked up to her and followed her. So, I mean, listen, Nene was the breakout star in Real Housewives of Atlanta. She brought something to that show that so far nobody else have brought. No matter how many times they done brought somebody new on, okay? They talk about Wendy Williams Nene says she really liked Wendy and that she is a good person. She said her and Wendy relationship was always off and on, and also witnessed Wendy turn on her. She felt like Wendy was in a place where she didn't care about any of her friends. Probably, with that husband of hers. Okay, but anyway. They talk about a talk show deal that was on the table with Denmark Mercury, the same show that produces the Wendy Williams show. But when her and Wendy started going back and forth, the deal was cut. So Carlos asked her, do you think a blackball? Nene said yes, but she's working now, said that she has plenty offers to do a talk show and would be in full negotiations, and a phone call will be made and the deal will go dead. So they end up talking about Kim Kardashian, because they pretty much started out around the same time, and she feels like she should be on Kim Kardashian's level or higher. And listen, Nene is very talented, and I agree. But read between the lines. It's a situation where, unfortunately, in this society, they don't want us at the top. And it's weird as hell. I don't understand. Because they appropriate our styles, but let's not go there because that's a whole nother video, okay? Nene felt like she was not given the same opportunities that Kim Kardashian was given. They were able to promote their businesses on their shows, whereas on Real Housewives of Atlanta, they were not, okay? Again, the same. Okay, don't want y'all to get ahead. That's why we got to fight twice as hard to even get a space. And when we get a space, we got to fight harder. Okay. Nene said Claudia Jordan was the one person that gave her a run for her money and felt that Claudia deserved a peep. And that was new revelation because Claudia always has something to say about Nene. Okay. I wonder what Claudia is thinking now. Okay. What she would like her legacy to be is what Carlos asked her. She said she doesn't know what she want her legacy to be, but she wants people to know that her heart is big, she's lovable, and she has no hate and no ill feelings towards anyone. She said she always fought for women, but don't feel like she got the same. Nene asked Carlos, he's been around, do he feel like she was fairly treated? Carlos said, as Black people, we are always underrated and have to prove ourselves, and we don't get our just due, just the way the cookie crumbles. But with all that said, he gave her flowers. He got it and let her know how talented she is and how he feel bad that she's going through what she's going through. He said he feels that people just did not know what to do with Nene because she went from, that girl in Atlanta to the #1 reality star, and people just did not know what to do with her. Basically because she was Black, that's all I'm gonna say, and rose to fame quickly. He feels like Nene is not fairly represented, and he's really crying and getting emotional. Okay, so the last thing they talk about, well, it's not the last thing, but they feel that Phaedra and Candy should have had that conversation. They said if she could forgive Portia, she should have at least had a conversation with Phaedra, and feels that because we did not get that aftermath of the whole Phaedra and Portia thing coming against Candy, it ruined the show, it brought down the ratings, etc., etc. So they play a game, where he names people and Nene get to say if they starless or stars. And pretty much everybody was starless. She gave Portia and Kenya their credit. And that was it. Pretty much the interview again was good. I think Nene is very entertaining. I watched from beginning to end. I was intrigued on, how she would answer the questions. And for me, Nene has a big ego, and it's okay. Like I said in my last review, if you ain't your biggest hype man, who would be? Okay. But I'm going to give Nene grace. I don't know what she was going through. And especially when Greg got sick. And she was acting up on that show. For nobody to understand what she was going through and the way she behaved, It's unfortunate, but I'm gonna give her grace for that. Anyway, I hope to see Nene on the TV screen again. I hope to see her flourish and prosper in life. She looked like she's, had some growth mentally, physically, and emotionally. And, I wish her the best. I watched Carlos King's, he does like a review after the interview. And pretty much he said him and Nene are in talks to do a tour. And we'll see how that goes. Child, maybe they could bring each other up. He also give her accolades again and said by far the interview that he did with Nene was his defining moment. So Nene's that girl. Anyway, guys, that's all I got. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know my next video comes out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Yelling out, we ain't selling out. We got money, but we ain't lending out. We got bars, but we ain't belling out.